What is up, guys? Welcome to this new video. In this video we'll be going over the patch notes and the changes in the new Stalcraft X season. This is the season that starts today on the 3rd of September of 2025. The season is called the Horrors of the Zone season, and we are in for a big ride because we have quite a few reworks and new additions coming up, so strap in and let's get started. So first of all, the season is called the Horrors of the Zone season. Something strange is happening in the zone. More and more stalkers are encountering new oddities. Tales and rumors about various weirdness fills the bar. Some blame anomalies or mutants, others the autumn madness. However, those who know the answers to the zone mysteries understand the true cause of the changes. But can ordinary person get close to the solution and remain the same? In this patch note you will see the following changes. New Horror of the Zone season, second iteration of Arsenal, artifacts, armors and containers balance changes and rework, addition of in-game event hub, weather changes and much more. So, like I said, we have a lot to cover, so let's just get started. First of all, the season rewards. On the screen right now you can see all the rewards you can get this season. So we again got some advanced spare parts and a lot of that good stuff, and it seems like they kept the same philosophy as last time, where they put a lot less crates in there, but the crates are most likely gonna be a lot better. In this season, the following key rewards are available: the SR1 10mm pistol, the Witness Amulet Charm, the Phantom Hunter armor skin, the SMG nut, the special case tokens, the Experienced Hunter skin, the Claw Charm, some Act 2 tickets, the Hunter's Ornament container, and the Watcher's Charm. I personally am kind of disappointed at the rewards because the SMG nut and the SR1 were also in the season, like I think last year or something, like not that long ago, you know? Same goes for the Phantom Hunter, so I don't know. I'm not too happy with that as someone who already has all of these, but hey, at least we can sell them for season currency. I do really like the paints and the charms in this pass though, so honestly I am happy about the overall vibe of the cosmetics. Something which wasn't explicitly mentioned in the patch notes is the new crate of the season, which is the mysterious loot crate, and what the rewards are, so let's quickly check those out in game. As for the parts that we can get to craft weapons and armor, we're gonna have the SA58 again, the Carback OTL03, the Rigel, and the addition of the OTS Search in these. I'm not too fussed about it. So, I get that they want to offer new players ways to get these old weapons, especially the SA are pretty good. So, I get it, but it's kind of disappointing. I would want more weapons, but hey, we have other ways of getting new weapons. As for other rewards, we see that they have stayed with the same philosophy of less junk, more good items, and just make the cases more scarce, which honestly, after having played like that last season, I didn't mind it too much. It felt really nice to open cases because of it. So yeah, I don't mind it too much, to be honest. Again, same kind of drop chances of all these items. Then for other items, we can get a desecrated laser for our gun, which honestly I kind of like it. Then we have the Redcatcher Exo armor, which I also really like. I don't think I'm ever gonna use it because it's a pink, but I do like how it looks. Then we also have the Corrosive Saw again and the Dragonfly. I mean, if you get any of these, you can also just sell them if you already have it. So yeah, not too fussed about that. Then we also have the Trigicon ACOG, but the desecrated version. So yeah, pretty decent, pretty cool. So the level 500 weapon this season is the Pancor Jackhammer, which is a shotgun. So I'm very happy to see that there's finally a master tier shotgun relatively easily available for everybody, and not just only out of crates. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The stats look pretty good, honestly. Yeah, 200 units of damage at +0 with a 10 mag capacity is pretty decent. Honestly, I think for everybody that doesn't have the AA or the 612 or whatever, this might be a good addition. Then the special case now has new offers, and one of them is the unique shotgun, the KS12 Comrade. So we have another shotgun in here. Honestly, pretty cool. I really like the design. It reminds me of the Saiga. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't mind it personally. The CD4 is also back, so that's pretty nice. And the Chaytek M300 and the HK 417 are also in that highest tier. Then, the shop has also been updated with new unique motifs and styles for the Horror of the Zone season. Like I said before, the overall vibe of this season is really cool in my opinion. I really like these skins, and honestly, like, these are actually like pretty sick, even the motifs. For example, the Albatross Interceptor, just the motive alone is already very cool. Then there's also the Horrors of the Zone starter pack in the shop, and it includes 10 season levels, 7-day premium, the Bad Intentions paint in 2 pieces for weapons and armor. Then they have also added the charm counters back to the shop, or like I guess new ones to the shop, because these will track your kills in session battles specifically and not in the open world like the ones that were previously available in the anniversary pack. But you can now also exchange the open world kill counter charms for the session battle kill counter charms at the dealer NPC. So if you have those open world ones and you say like, oh, I would prefer the session battle ones, you can exchange it. Then the Events Hub is now introduced. The Events Hub is a new system for displaying in-game events and news. It is designed not only to organize all relevant information, but also to serve as the place where in-game events will live, some of which you'll be able to experience very soon. This hub will include patch notes, news and important announcements, and events both small and big. When you enter the game, you'll be greeted by a special page with the latest information acting as a news hub. News is also duplicated in the character selection menu and remains available during maintenance. You can access this section both from the initial character selection screen and through interaction buttons in the in-game menu, which will bring it up kind of like this. One thing that I really I'm really intrigued by here is the Season Pass weekend event that is on there. So obviously the new season is like a news event, but the Season Pass weekend event kind of insinuates there's gonna be like weekend events where we will have like double XP or double money or whatever, you know, probably double XP for a specific weekend. So like very short events, which I think could be a really fun addition to the game to make the whole, you know, kind of season feel more lively throughout, and not only when the big event is there. On the event page, you'll see brief information about each event, as well as links to the platform for discussion. Daily login rewards have also been moved to this event hub. You can see it in the left bottom corner right there. And from now on, rewards are no longer claimed automatically. You'll need to collect them manually through the event hub. So no more logging in and automatically claiming it. You need to really go to this button, which I don't like it too much. It's kind of like cheeky because people might forget, and that's, you know, a lot of games do it like this, where you forget to claim your daily, and you know, then you miss out on free items. So I'm not too happy with this one. I don't really understand why they would do that, but yeah, whatever. Then the Exchanger. You can now sell almost all unnecessary gear from the past seasons to the Exchanger. Simply open up the Sell tab at the trader to get rid of excess items. Please note that Veteran and Stalker gear can no longer be purchased for ACT tickets. So I think that's a pretty good addition, because I have a bunch of stuff from older seasons that I didn't sell back then, or it wasn't available yet, that now you'll be able to sell for season currency, so I do like that. Then the second iteration of the arsenal is here. You can see it as an addition or a rework, or kind of both actually. So first of all, we have new weaponry added, namely the AUG A3, the AK-12 and the HK 416. Upgrading them will cost you 20,000 reputation. Upgrading attachments is also here, so Arsene is expanding his field of activity. He now also takes attachments for upgrades. Currently, you can upgrade grips, silencers, and muzzle brakes. An attachment upgrade will cost you 30,000 reputation. I honestly really like this addition. Then Arsenal assignments. Arsenal has started offering daily tasks to those who want to obtain Arsenal items with less financial investment. Here's the tasks that Arsenal can offer you. First of all, shoot. Have a look. You are granted a random Arsenal weapon and you must use it to eliminate a certain number of enemies. Once done, come back to Arsenal. Ammunition will be issued with the weapon. The weapon itself has a very limited durability amount. The weapon cannot be repaired or used in various game modes. So I think this is really cool, because you also get to kind of like try out a weapon. So this is very interesting, and I'm wondering how it will work out in practice, especially with the limited durability. Then the second task, feed Imp. You must gather an estimated amount of food for Imp. Then the third task, what are you murmuring over there? You must find and destroy Murmur Psy installations. And then the fourth and last task, dig deeper brotherly. You must dig out caches in Labyrinth and Still Waters. Then Arsenal voiceover. Arsenal has been given his own voice so that everyone can hear his charming tone. So that's just great for immersion. Good to see that they add more of that. Then Drossel, a Paul of Arsenal, has appeared in the zone recently. He's ready to help you earn Arsen's reputation. Drossel can be found at faction bases. He requires specific items which he then puts in packages for Arsen. Items presets required for trading are individual for each player and will change daily throughout the week. Packages come in two types, dropped upon death and not dropped upon death. The latter requires more valuable items, and the list of items can be viewed when interacting with Drossel. So you need to give more valuable items, but then you have less risk when delivering it, or so. That's, I guess, a fair balance. Then changes to selling items to Arsenal. The Arsenal item selling mechanic has been changed. From now on, every day each player will receive a random set of items instead of fixed sets shared by everyone. Then other changes. They've also reduced the number of players allowed to enter Stillwater's Burrow to 2 instead of 5. Then weather changes. We've reworked both the visual and technical aspects of weather in the following locations: Radial North, Labyrinth, Lübeck, and Stillwaters. They've made minor adjustments to the weather in the South Zone, making it a bit darker and more ominous. They've updated the vegetation color grading across the entire zone to match the autumn atmosphere, and in open world locations added the effect of falling leaves. I really like that one as well. I hope it just won't look too annoying, but I do really like just the vibes and the immersion that it brings with it. Fog is now dynamically adapting to the character's position, further enhancing the sense of immersion as well. Then balance changes, and now we're in for a big one. So first of all, there's been a huge rework to the containers and backpacks, barter line, and just functioning overall. Here are some of the key changes you need to read fully to understand the container and artifact system. Please review these carefully to make sense of all further adjustments. We've reworked the system of containers, backpacks, and artifacts, extended the barter branches for both compact and bulky containers, while backpacks have now received full progression lines of their own. From now on, container effectiveness directly influences the strength of the artifacts placed inside, so it's kind of like a multiplier of the artifacts that inside. So for example, if you have a container that's 150%, it's gonna multiply the values of the artifacts inside. Different types of containers have become more balanced. Containers with fewer slots now provide greater comfort when assembling artifact builds, and containers with more slots offer far more potential power, but require a more complex setup. With reduced internal protection, they demand a more careful build approach. Overall, containers have become stronger, which is why their prices have been adjusted, though the amount of serum required has remained unchanged. In addition, a completely new 7-slot container has been introduced, a true behemoth that will certainly attract those who enjoy assembling the most powerful builds. Armor no longer comes in with built-in advantages or drawbacks tied to equipping specific containers. You can now wear any container with any armor suit without limitations. As for artifacts, their changes are aimed at broadening build diversity. Some presets have been updated to improve compatibility with new setups, and their certain qualities have been revised. I do like that now you can wear anything with any armor. It just makes it kind of a little bit easier. However, I am curious to see how this is going to work in practice, because sometimes certain backpacks or containers were essentially only used because they were able to be used with certain armors, which now it doesn't really matter anymore. So I'm curious to see if this will just make 1 or 2 backpacks the meta. Because it doesn't really matter whether they're capacious, standard, or whatever. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work out in practice. So because of this, there's a bunch of barter changes and edits. I need to do a whole deep dive into this, to be honest, to just show you how the whole new system works with the effectiveness as well, the new internal protections, and all this type of stuff. So I will leave that for a separate video that will be coming really soon as well. I'll be literally starting on it right after I finish uploading this one. But I think this one really deserves its own video because it's quite a, whole rework of how containers work, and otherwise this will drag out this video, and I want to get this information at least out there as soon as possible. So if you're interested in that, you can click here on the right eye icon in the top corner. It will normally appear there right now, if it's out. If it's not out yet, then there won't be anything there, but it should be there once that video with the deep dive on the new container mechanics is out, and it will also be at the end of the video, again, from the moment it is out. Because of these changes, there's also bullet resistance changes to a lot of armors. These are mostly buffs to all the combo armors, so if you have a combo armor, chances are that it got a buff, so that's pretty cool. And there's also compensation for the artifacts, because a lot of them got changed quite a bit, most notably the Atom, the Polyhedron, and Amberite, and Eye of the Storm. These are the 4 ones that really got their whole thing turned around, and you can also get compensation for these through a special button, as you can see right here, and it will pop up a screen like this, and this will, this is purely what you want. You don't even have to accept it. You can just keep them like it is, or otherwise you can choose to either make them transferable and keep their upgrade, or you can choose to get rid of their upgrade and get all your materials back so you can use them on different artifacts. That's entirely up to you what you do with this, but I do think it's nice that they provide a sort of compensation for the huge changes to these artifacts. These are not only artifacts changed, but these are the 4 biggest ones according to Expo. Again, the artifact changes I will go over in a separate video as well. Like I said, those 4 mentioned before were the most important ones. Then with that also comes some changes to consumables. So Schizoyorsh has been increased by its duration, reduced its poison, reduced its vitality, and reduced its psi emission, removed its healing effectiveness, and added regeneration. So honestly, it's been changed quite a bit, but not as much as some of the other ones. Like, for example, the Painkiller, Jolly Lemonade, Brine just literally got his bio-infection removed. So that's wild. Same with the Jolly Lemonade and the Radiation. So this is completely, changing the meta, changing how we use consumables with our artifact builds. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to use this, because as you can see, essentially all the infection things have been removed from the consumables, and we only have, stamina regen and healing effectiveness and that type of stuff left. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna evolve, because it does also change what artifacts builds are possible, but since so much got changed with them and the containers as well, maybe, it kind of balances each other out. But for example, vodka has been made radiation remover again, so there's so many things changing and coming back. It's kind of interesting to see, and it's a short-term radiation remover essentially now, vodka. And same with industrial alcohol, which has got its poison reduced as well, so it won't instantly kill you if you heal enough. Then some various other changes are increased the number of exit points from Klondike, and they added the standard infection output display. Debuffs applied by infections are now also shown. Then suppression. They've added a movement speed penalty of up to 5% for the suppression modifier. Then account recovery. They've added a new partial character deletion mechanism. Now players will be able to cancel the deletion of a character within 3 days if they change their mind. The recovery mechanism after full deletion remains unchanged. Then for sights, this one I'm really excited about, honestly. Sights now feature switchable zoom functionality. The Trigicon ACOG can go from 2.4 to 1.5. The NC Star can go from 3.4 to 1.5. The composite optical sight can go from 2.8 to 1.8. Trapezoid collimator sight can go from 2.4 to 1.5. And the default button for switching is assigned to page up, which I personally don't really like. It's on the other side of my keyboard, but you can change that button. So you can change it to maybe one on your mouse if you have that option available. Then sounds. They added long range ambient sounds, new lines from Archant Zuza on the radio, and music in the main menu. Updated the weapon firing sounds of the KS1, the PKP, and the LR300. Then they've also updated the models of the muzzle devices of the custom guns Doncaster, the Super K8, the GE Octo, the VR09, the Micro Badger, the Nomad 9, the Titan 9, the Spikes Tactical, the SPVV, the AKML, the Venom Tactical Antidote, and the PBS-1. Then they've also fixed multiple naming and inconsistency bugs and fixed the translation of several legacy items. Alright, that was it for these patch notes. I will try to make the deep dive into the new container changes as soon as possible, and once that is out, you can find that here on the left. If you want to watch some Stalcraft gameplay, you can find that here on the right. If this video was helpful, don't forget to leave a like, and thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date with more Stalcraft news and or gameplay and case openings, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell, and then enjoy the new season, and I'll see you in the zone, stalkers.